Pat McGuinness, National Housing Party, United Kingdom, just on the Thames, leaning against a wall, and going to do a quick video on comparing our policies with Reform, UKIP, Reclaim and Heritage parties. So those four parties are in one block. They're all semi-establishment parties, and I would like to just explain to the public the difference between some of our policies. There's seven things what are quite different to us and those four parties. So the first one is immigration. We want to completely stop permanent settlement immigration and make giving UK passports out to foreigners a thing of the past. It should never happen in the first place, but you know, what's done is done, and we're campaigning to end that. And all those four parties want to continue to do that. Refugees. We want to completely stop accepting refugees for citizenship and housing. All those four parties, they want to continue to accept what they call true refugees. And we're in a crisis now, and it needs to be stopped. National Housing Party clearly says no more refugees, full stop. Okay. Number three, foreign religious buildings. We have a policy in place which would prohibit any more foreign religious buildings. Now, before anyone says anything, right, our country is a Christian country. Our flag is 3 Christian crosses. It hasn't got anything to do with Hinduism or Judaism or Islam in our flag. Yeah? Our nation was a Christian nation, and it still is a Christian nation. So we have got a policy to ban any further foreign religious buildings. You know, we have got enough Hindu temples, we have got enough Sikh temples, we've got more than enough mosques, we've got enough synagogues, right? Any more of these buildings that are built will add to the destruction of our country, because that is where we're heading. We are losing our country, we're losing our heritage, our traditions, and this policy would be put in place, including a policy of building new houses. So any new buildings that will be built needs to be for social housing. And anybody who wants to worship religiously would need to convert to Christianity and use one of the thousands of churches what are not being used at the moment. And if they are adamant that they want new Hindu temples or mosques or synagogues, they need to go to that country, whatever religion it is, where it is the culture and tradition of that country. That's what they're going to need to do, right? So that's one policy that Heritage, UKIP, Reform and Reclaim will never have, in my opinion, which is needed. Those four parties also will not say what a British person is. Now, all those four parties laugh at people who can't say what a woman is. You know, they'll laugh at people who are calling a man who's allegedly transitioned into a woman. And they'll mock them, they'll ridicule them, but then they can't say what a British person is. Now, there's two different things. You've got British people and British citizens. Obviously, British citizens can be from any ethnic background, but British people, flesh and blood, are Indigenous, English, Irish, Scottish or Welsh. Okay? And UKIP, Reform, Heritage and Reclaim will never say that. And this is part of the anti-white agenda, because they're denying us an identity. And they don't even realise that they're doing it. You know, I said to them they got Stockholm Syndrome in a previous video, and that's exactly what it is. So that's four. Another policy we've got is we're campaigning to ban foreign ownership of property, business and land in this country. I mean, over the last 10-20 years, the ownership of property and land in this country is rocketed. There are many parts of this country which are now owned by foreign interests, which needs to be brought to an end. So we've got a policy to deal with that. You know, there's thousands of billionaires around the world. They don't even come to this country, and they own thousands of properties in this country. And that needs to be brought to an end. Also, our football clubs need to be owned by British people. And when I say let's say a UK citizen, so then land, business and property needs to only be owned by a UK citizen. So that would mean anyone with a UK passport. So that's another thing that UKIP, Reform, Heritage, Reclaim will never campaign for. And these are nationalist policies, which we're a Christian nationalist party, and we need these policies to save our Christian nation. Also, another one, number 6, cancel culture. National Housing Party will, you know, we don't cancel people. No, if you agree with our policies and that, you can join our party. Yeah, like UKIP, Reform, Heritage, Reclaim have banned 100,000 patriots from joining their party just because they were previously members of BNP or Britain First. And this is cancel culture, and they claim to be against cancel culture. So this is another sign of Stockholm syndrome, and they really don't know what they're doing, and they expect that they're going to change things when, you know, this is cancel culture. You know, the leadership of the National Housing Party are banned from joining those 4 parties, and people keep saying that we need to unite. They won't let us unite. They are dividing the right. They just call us politically correct names like far right. I mean, this is the situation we're in, and I would like to unite. You know, we would all like to unite in our party, but they've banned us from joining their parties. So please come and join the genuine patriotic nationalist party, National Housing Party. So that's 6 policies that we are different from those 4 parties on. The 7th one is the Equalities Act. It's clear in our policies. You can go to our website and check all our policies, nationalhousingparty.uk. You know, we got a policy. We want to scrap the Equalities Act. This Equalities Act, which originally started as the Racial Discrimination Act, is responsible for it's a big part of the anti-white agenda. So because of the Equalities Act, the organisations are allowed to ban white British people from joining organisations like TfL, BBC, the Royal Navy, the Met Police, the Fire Brigade, you know, and their excuse is, oh, there's too many white people in that organisation. And they say, you know, if we don't force ethnic minorities into positions, you're going to be in breach of the Equalities Act. So our policy is clear. We want to scrap the Equalities Act and create a free society, and we can employ who we like, okay? And Reform, UKIP, Reclaim and Heritage Party have not got that policy in their manifestos or policies. So there is 7 things that we are clearly different to on those 4 parties. I would like to unite with everyone, but as I said before, they banned us all from joining them. And this is the raw reality of what's going on. They are basically part of the anti-white agenda. But going back to what is a British person is, John Lawrence is obviously he's half Indigenous British and he's half Jamaican, and he'll be the first one to say that. And he knows that David Lammy isn't a British person. He knows that Sadiq Khan is not a British person. You know, they're not British people. They're British citizens, but they're not British people. And to all the retarded English separatists out there, right, who say, oh, anyone can be British, you know, and all this rubbish, what nationality, what passport are you going to give to all these people like Sadiq Khan, David Lammy, Sunak, Diane Abbott? You know, what passport? If you get an independent England, they're going to have English passports, aren't they? So your whole argument is just retarded, okay? So anyway, back to the 4 semi-establishment parties, UKIP, Reclaim, Reform and Heritage. They are more or less part of the establishment. They're pushing a politically correct agenda. So please come forward, join the National Housing Party, nationalhousingparty.uk. Jesus Christ is King. Thank you.